All right, here's our boy De'Aaron Fox. Spurs were able to pick him up at the trade deadline last season for a loaf of bread or a carton of eggs, however that saying goes. But the Spurs traded two first-round draft picks, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and City Sissoko. All three of those guys are decent NBA players. They have a role on some NBA team, just not our team anymore. And we pick up our boy De'Aaron Fox. There were rumors around the trade deadline that we were going for Trey Young or De'Aaron Fox. Of course, we end up getting De'Aaron Fox for an easy trade package. It was just a great deal for the Spurs. No way you can pass it up. We needed a point guard. We got I'd call De'Aaron Fox an elite point guard. I'd say he's definitely still top 10. If you start naming names, he's probably around like 7 or 8 or so. But people are just hating on De'Aaron Fox and acting like he's not even top 15. People have such short ass memories. He just scored 60 points just last season. There was a season before last season when his pinky was still healthy. So that 23-24 season, scored 60 points in the game. 2023 season, he was an all-star. He was third team All NBA. So just 2 seasons ago, he got voted third team NBA. So people were saying there's only 2 point guards in the NBA that are better than De'Aaron Fox and more deserving of being on this All NBA team than De'Aaron Fox is. But again, people have a short ass memory and they just forget about De'Aaron Fox. You can't see in this picture, but he's a left-handed shooter, of course. He had the broken pinky last season. He got the surgery with the Spurs. He's going to be good to go at the start of this next season coming in. But if y'all remember when Kobe had his pinky broken, he had it wrapped around his ring finger. That was the kind of setup De'Aaron Fox had. And people probably say, oh, Kobe could play through it. Didn't affect Kobe. And De'Aaron Fox did play through it. He played pretty well, but getting that surgery, getting the pinky fixed up is going to make his game way better. His efficiency will probably be better as well, and that's kind of what I'm looking for from De'Aaron coming into this next season. But from 2021 to 2025, De'Aaron Fox put up some great numbers. We'll get into those stats, but people look at his career numbers. He's 21 and a half points, 6.1 assists on 47% from the field, 33% from three. So, I mean, that's decent career numbers. Give me 22 points on 47% from the field, throwing the 6 assists. That's solid guard numbers. Then regular season last season, this is most of the season in Sacramento, again with the broken pinky. Then he got traded to the Spurs and he played, I think it was like 19 games for the Spurs, so not a big sample size. But again, just last season, he played the 62 games, 23 and a half points, 6 assists, 82% from the foul line. He shoots like 78%, right here 75% for his career, so that was really impressive. How good his free throw shooting was, even with the broken pinky. 46% from the field just last season, but De'Aaron Fox was just coming into his prime. He's only 27 years old. And again, from 2021 to 2025, so that 5 season sample size, he was putting up 24.7 points, basically 25 points a game, 6 assists, and 1.5 steals. And that's over a 5 year sample size. So again, he just turned 27. De'Aaron Fox was just coming into his prime before he got that pinky injury. He gets traded from Sacramento to San Antonio. So we just picked up De'Aaron Fox right at the beginning of his prime. I mean, once you're like 30, that's probably the middle of your prime. I'd say from 27 to 32 is kind of the prime years for most basketball players where your brain kind of catches up to how athletic you are and you can put everything together, and played really well out there on the court. But again, you see his career numbers. It's not really crazy. 22.6 assists on 47% field goal shooting. It's decent, but you don't see that and think that's some crazy superstar style numbers. I would agree with you on that if that's what you think. But again, these past 5 years from 2021 to 2025, he was giving you 25 points, 6 assists, 1.5 steals. He was shooting 48% from the field, so that's really good efficiency, especially for a 6'3 guard out there to give you 25 points a game on 48% from the field. That's just really good shot selection and good efficiency. 32% from three in those 5 seasons, and that's what a lot of people are concerned about. People that want to look at the Spurs team, I'm a Spurs fan, take my opinion with a grain of salt. I always try to keep my takes pretty fair and unbiased, but Spurs fans and just people that want to nitpick the Spurs and kind of be critical of their team will say, the Spurs don't have any three-point shooting. That's definitely true. We don't have a lot of good three-point shooters out there. Now we get De'Aaron Fox. We throw him in there with Stephon Castle. Wemby's probably our best three-point shooter, to be honest, on a high volume of threes. Devin Vassell was a bit off last season. Keldon Johnson. These aren't really consistent three-point guys that we can really count on. Then Dylan Harper's coming in. We don't really know what to expect from Dylan Harper as a rookie and see how his shooting looks, but he wasn't a big knockdown shooter. In college, we did pick up David Jones Garcia. He was shooting over 40% from three in the summer league, but have to be consistent. When other teams get a good player out of the summer league, I said I do not care about the summer league numbers. That means nothing to me. You have to see it in the actual NBA games. And with David Jones Garcia, we have so many guards. We'll just see if he even gets any minutes out there, or is able to get a decent amount of minutes, because we could definitely use his shooting if it does translate over to the NBA from the summer league. But again, the 25 points per game, 48% shooting over a 5-year sample size. So you can look at the career numbers, because of course that's for his entire career. I'm just taking that 5-season sample size over these past 5 years, and De'Aaron Fox has basically been an all-star level guard for that amount of time. Again, giving you the 25.6 assists, the 32% shooting from three is concerning. Spurs team, we still need more shooters around Wemby, around De'Aaron Fox. I won't deny that. That's definitely true. But the main thing we needed was a backup center for Wemby. We got Luke Cornett for that backup. And we needed a point guard for Wemby. And again, people are acting like De'Aaron Fox is not a top 10 point guard in the NBA. They're acting like he's just, I don't know, Fred VanVleet or something. No offense to Fred VanVleet. Get well soon from your ACL injury. But people are acting like De'Aaron Fox is not an all-star level point guard, and he definitely is. Over that 5-season sample size, he was giving you 76% shooting from the free throw line. Again, he was basically 83% last season, over a 62-game sample size. So, it'll probably come back to the means. I mean, I hope he stays over 80%, but it'll probably come back down to 78, 79% shooting from the free throw line. But I feel like he's going to be a great fit next to Wemby. Wemby just sets the screen and roll, pick and pop game, especially off the pick and pop. If the big's in drop coverage, De'Aaron Fox can come right up and get his mid-range shot. If the big's trying to play up on the screen, De'Aaron Fox is just so quick, he's going to fly right by you. Now you have two men on the ball. Wemby pops out for a wide open three. And De'Aaron Fox I feel like he's going to be better for us than Trae Young, just fit-wise, because De'Aaron Fox is just so lightning fast. He's going to be able to push the fast break. And again, the pick and pop, pick and roll game with him and Wemby, I feel like it will be better than it would be with Trae Young and Wemby, just in my opinion, because once De'Aaron Fox comes off of that screen, he does have more speed than Trae Young. He's just going to be able to get in the paint and cause all kinds of havoc for the defense and just make Wemby and the entire Spurs team just look even better, with having an actual point guard out there on the court. But again, people are kind of sleeping on De'Aaron Fox, acting like he didn't just drop 60 points in the 2023 season, and acting like he's not coming into his prime right now. Because again, I gave you all that 5-year, 5-season sample size, 25 points, 6 assists on 48% shooting from the field. So I'd look at that 5-year sample size and say, this is more the real De'Aaron Fox than, the 19 games he played for the Spurs where he averaged like 21 points and then he got his finger surgery. And people want to look at that and just say, man, De'Aaron Fox is regressing. He wasn't that great for the Spurs in his 20-game sample size. Him and Wemby didn't score 50, 60 points between the two of them every single season. Oh no, it's not going to work out. I feel like people are just reacting too quickly to it. Again, he got his pinky surgery. I'm excited to see how he looks actually being healthy next to Wembanyama, next to Stephon Castle and the rest of the team, because I feel like that 5-year sample size, these past 5 years, that's more who the real De'Aaron Fox is. He's a dude that's going to give you 48% shooting from the field, 25 points and 6 assists. And I can see his scoring maybe coming down a little bit to 24, 23 points, but his assists getting up to maybe 7 or 8 assists per game, because we're going to need De'Aaron Fox to do some scoring, but Wemby's just going to get more easy looks than he ever has in his whole career up to this point. He's never played with another all-star level point guard or just all-star level player, to be totally honest with you. So De'Aaron Fox is going to make life way easier for Wembanyama, and Wembanyama is going to make life way easier for De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox did play next to Domantas Sabonis in Sacramento. Sabonis is an awesome big man, but he's not nearly as mobile as Wemby, and Wemby's just the best player De'Aaron Fox has ever played with in his career. And same thing for Wemby with De'Aaron Fox. They're both the best players that each one has played next to in their entire career, and they're just going to make life way easier for one another. Now, I've heard people saying De'Aaron Fox is the odd man out. Now we drafted Dylan Harper. We have Stephon Castle. The Spurs are too guard heavy. I guess I'd agree with you. We are a little bit guard heavy. I wouldn't say it's so much being guard heavy. It's just that we lack 3-point shooting, and it's too early to tell if Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle are going to develop into those knockdown 3-point shooters that we're going to need to surround Wemby with. I would look at the Houston Rockets, though. Last season, it was just their defense getting out on the fast break and they just had Jalen Green, so they didn't have like a very great isolation scorer. So I look at Houston, they were able to make the number 2 seed just based off of defense and getting out and doing a run and gun style of offense. I can see the Spurs doing something similar. I'm not saying we'll be the number 2 seed, but I can see the Spurs finishing, hopefully in that 6 to 8 range, just based on our defense and based on, just having a superstar player in Victor Wembanyama. So I'm excited to see how the season goes. I think it's crazy. Some people are saying, oh, we got Dylan Harper with a number 2 pick. We have to trade De'Aaron Fox. We have to trade De'Aaron Fox to let Dylan Harper come in and develop. I think our coaching staff is going to be doing just fine with letting Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox all get play time and be able to, to let Castle and Harper develop around De'Aaron Fox. But I love Dylan Harper. I think he's going to be an amazing player. I hope he is a superstar. I hope he is better than De'Aaron Fox. But it's crazy to draft a rookie, even with him being the number 2 pick. It's crazy to draft a rookie and say, oh, this rookie's going to be better than this dude that's averaged 25 points and 6 assists on 48% shooting for 5 years straight. Again, I hope Dylan Harper is better than De'Aaron Fox. I hope he's better than Wemby. I hope he's the best player that's ever played in the NBA in the history of the game. But, I just don't like when a team drafts a young player and they already have, an all-star level player on their team, and then people are saying, oh, you got to get rid of your all-star level player just to let this younger guy come in and hope that he's better than an all-star player that you already have. So, good problems to have. Spurs have too much talent at the guard position, to be honest. I think, again, our coaching staff is going to plug things in just fine and be able to get De'Aaron Fox, Harper, and Castle plenty of minutes playing together. I'm sure there will be times when all 3 of them are on the court together with Wemby and maybe Jeremy Sohan. Will lack 3-point shooting if we're playing that lineup. So that's the main concern everybody has. But super excited to see how all the players mesh together going into next season. Again, all these De'Aaron Fox haters need to just wait for next season. I think we're going to see who De'Aaron Fox really is, because he's closer to a 25-6 player on 48% shooting from the field than he is to this 21.5 6 assist player that he's been for pretty much his whole career up to this point. Again, he was just coming into his prime. He's just turning 27, and I think he's going to unlock Wemby's game, and Wemby's going to unlock his game, and it's just going to be really fun to watch. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 50 subscribers. Please comment below what you think about the San Antonio Spurs as a team, what you think about De'Aaron Fox, and if you think people have been sleeping on him, because I think people forgot about his broken pinky and are just kind of forgetting how talented De'Aaron Fox is as a player. But thank you for watching. We'll see y'all next time.